So something rather scary happened today. Um, I went to pick up my baby from the train station and we went back to my house. And I was serving him some food. And as I'm serving him and we're going towards the dining room table, I feel him fall against me. And I thought he was joking. And I didn't grab him and he fell to the ground. And he hit his head on the ground and his eyes went behind the back of his head. And I panicked because I thought he was having a seizure. He passed out, and then within seconds he like came to and basically said, I'm fine, but like it's scary. So right now we're at the ER, and because of COVID I can't be inside with him, so he's in there right now. And I'm just kind of sitting in the car. I just got off the phone with him. Everything's gonna be all right, but it's just one of those scary things. And for a second there, I was just like so scared because I don't want to like lose him or have anything happen to him. So it just like really scared me. And like, I'm not saying that I don't appreciate him, but like this has made me kind of feel like I appreciate him a little bit more, because for a second I thought like he was gonna leave me. I don't know. And it just scared the living daylights out of me, you know? So we're here at the emergency room, the JFK Medical Center. And I've been sitting here for like an hour and a half waiting on my baby, so I will let you guys know when he comes out. I just had some McDonald's. I had the new, hang on one second. I just had the spicy crispy chicken sandwich. I personally think that the spicy crispy chicken sandwich is better than the regular crispy chicken sandwich that just came out, but it's way too spicy, like disturbingly spicy. And I'm Hispanic, so I can handle spice, but it was just like uncomfortably spicy. Like, have you ever eaten something and it just makes you sweat while you eat it? That was me right now. So although I recommend it, it's just a little too spicy for my liking. Whatever. So I'm going on hour 3 waiting on my baby because he's still in the ER, but look at how beautiful these flowers are. They're absolutely beautiful. I've never seen flowers this beautiful in my life. Beautiful white flowers. I need them in my life, in my house. Look at them.
2,000 years later.
He's alive! Yay! Hi, baby.
Hello.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
You were in there long enough.
I know.
I got you some taquitos.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Hey guys. So here's a little bit of an update. So doctors could not find any reason for why I passed out. I wasn't dehydrated. I don't have a heart defect. I don't have diabetes. They ran like a million tests on me. They took blood. And by the way, like for some reason, like it's always hard for people to take my blood. Like they literally jabbed me in a million different spots. Like I had this one nurse jab me like, in like the obvious place that they would take blood, on my arm. And she did a few spots here, and she was like, like trying to like find a vein and like pushing the needle through my body, and it just like wasn't finding anything. And then she went over to this arm and she was poking me in a couple different places there. I still have tons of marks to prove it, and still couldn't find my vein. And then she started looking for I never experienced this. She started looking for a vein in my hand, and that was like quite painful, let me tell you. She's like jabbing it into me and like trying to find it in there, and she still couldn't find a vein. And she actually had to call like a vein, like an expert, I guess, I don't know. And he came in and finally was able to find a vein in my arm, actually. But yeah, they took like forever just to find a spot to take blood. But yeah, they like ran every kind of test. I had x-rays on my brain, x-rays on my chest. Couldn't find anything wrong with me. It's a mystery. I was in the hospital for like 4.5 hours, and it was a pretty scary ordeal because, especially when I first arrived there, everybody kind of like rushed around me, and there was like 2 nurses in the room, and a doctor came in, and there was another nurse outside, and they were treating it as something like very serious. And I knew that it was like quite serious. I had never really passed out like that before. Um, but after I had like kind of woken up out of that, which it only lasted for a few seconds, I woke up out of it and I felt relatively normal. I still felt a little bit lightheaded. Um, and Not that I couldn't walk, but it felt like I didn't really have perfect balance. But other than that, I mean, it just felt like maybe I just needed like some sugar, like maybe my blood sugar maybe was down or something like that, but nothing too crazy. But when I was there, they were all kind of huddled around me and asking me all kinds of questions and telling me, asking me to like replay the incident and, and explain the whole thing to them detail by detail. And it really just started to just make me panic. Um, I have pretty bad anxiety, like just on a normal day. So being in a hospital and being around people like yelling questions at me really kind of was quite overwhelming. And because of COVID, I had to be there completely by myself because they don't allow visitors in the hospital, unfortunately. So that was like just pretty traumatic. And, after a while, I started to calm down. After you're there for so many hours, it's like, and nothing is really happening. You're kind of like, okay, maybe this isn't something that I need to be super concerned about. But I was starting to think a lot. I was starting to think about a lot of different things. I was thinking about my life and the future, and because when scary things happen to you, your mind tends to go to like thinking about all the things that you appreciate and all the things that you love, and maybe the things that like you don't always acknowledge how grateful you are for them in your everyday life. And you know one of those things that I'm so grateful for is my boyfriend, and how like even though he couldn't come into the hospital with me, he literally sat in his car in the parking lot for over 4 hours. Even though he lives like less than 10 minutes away from the hospital, he still stayed in the parking lot and waited for me and made sure that he was going to be there when I got out. And like I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking about the fact that like full disclosure, I've been in a lot of bad relationships, and like people who like were very abusive and like mistreated me and like made me feel like less of a person, and made me feel like my opinions didn't matter and my emotions didn't matter. I allowed them to make me feel less. I gave them permission to make me feel less of who I am. And I finally feel like I'm in a place in my life where I'm with someone who loves me like for exactly who I am, and not only like loves me and appreciates me, but like encourages me to be like the weirdo that I am. And like it's like I've never felt like judged in his presence. I've never felt like I had to like censor myself or stop myself from saying something because I thought that he would think that I was like too weird or anything like that. I always was just like, I was always, since literally day one, I was just like comfortable with just being me. And I just like was never afraid. I've never felt anxious with anything to do with him. I've never felt scared. I just have always felt so safe and comfortable and cared for and respected. And like, because like this person gave that to me, I also feel comfortable giving that to him too. And I've like always trusted him since day one. I've always like accepted like the person that he is, and I've never questioned like his motivations or anything like that. Like it just was like, it was just all love. Like right from day one, just all love. I think it was like 2 weeks after I met him, like in real life, because we met on Bumble. But 2 weeks after like our first date, maybe it was even earlier than that, but I think it was like 2 weeks was like the first time that we told each other that we loved each other. And some people might say that that's like very quick, but like now here we are like many months later, and I can honestly say that I feel, not only do I feel the same way, but I feel stronger about him. So the reason why I'm saying this now is because like laying in that hospital bed and thinking about just like dying alone. And I don't mean to sound overly dramatic, but it is like a fear that I have that I'm gonna like die by myself in a hospital room. That's like my greatest fear of all time. So it's like every time I go to the hospital and I'm laying there, that always enters my mind of like, what if those are my last moments? The way that I view success is the people that we've touched along the way, the happiness that we've brought to other people, and the love that we've given to other people, and also accepted, the love that we've accepted for ourselves. And like, I've always been like searching and searching and searching for that success. And I finally feel like I've reached a point in my life where I have that, where I have someone who I truly love and truly loves me in return. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I was scared as hell to lose that. You know, like, what if the other day turned out much more different than what it did? You know, what if something really horrible happened to me? You know, I never want to like lose this beautiful like relationship that I've found. You know, there's other things as well. There's like other dreams and aspirations and careers and hobbies and, you know, other relationships like friendships and relationships with family members and stuff like that. But there's something to say about having somebody in your life who is a witness to your life, who experiences all of the beautiful moments, all of the sad moments, you know, or moments that are not even really moments at all, you know, kind of just sitting around watching TV with that person, being able to tell someone anything that's on your mind and not having to worry that they're going to judge you or they're going to think differently of you. Just having someone that you can rely on and who's there for you. And you know, when you're having a horrible day and like you just need to talk to somebody, and you have that person, you always have that person that you can just pick up the phone and talk to. You know, there's something so beautiful about that kind of relationship. And it's something that I've always searched for ever since I was a kid. I never really felt like I had that. I've had best friends. I have my sister who's amazing. And like we're best, you know, she's my best friend. We tell each other everything, but it's obviously like a relationship with a sister is very different than a romantic relationship. And like I've always looked for that much more intimate relationship. And I feel like I finally found it, and I'm just so grateful. And I don't know, I'm at a loss for words. Like I just like want to sit here and gush for like 3 hours about you, Albert. And I probably could, but nobody would want to watch that. So I'll probably just tell you in person. But I just want to tell you I love you pretty much more than any person could love another person. I can't even see, I don't see how I could love you any more than I already do. And I appreciate you, and I care about you, and I respect you. And I literally cannot picture my life with anybody else or without you. I feel like I've known you my entire life, and I hope I get to know you my entire life. I love you so much. Bye, guys.